An uptick of 66,000 tonnes is expected for this season's avocado exports, and experts say that the South African avocado sector needs to basically double its production to remain competitive in the global market. Donkin from Donkin and Lindie Stroebel from Mission Produce South Africa give their inputs on this issue. We also chat to Jason Redding from SASAS Northern Branch about the annual student quiz, so stay tuned. Over to Lisa for the news first.
Welcome to today's news. South Africa is expected to export a record of 2.8 million tonnes of maize. This is according to the latest estimate by the National Agricultural Marketing Council. The estimate is for the 2020-2021 season. Exports from May 2020 to March 2021 already stood at 2.64 million tonnes. The expected total maize crop for the current season stands at 16 million tonnes. And the mohair market has reported a decrease during the fifth sale of the current season. The average market indicator fell by 4% to close at 390 Rand per kilogram. Our highest price of 900 Rand per kilogram was paid for a bale of Superstyle 23 micron kid mohair. 95% of the 173,058 kilograms on offer was sold. According to Mohair South Africa, buying houses competed actively for the mohair on offer, especially to obtain RMS certified mohair. And in the Western Cape, Cederberg Wine Farm has gone solar. The farm has cut its carbon footprint in half by installing a 258 kilowatt peak solar power plant. The plant has been operating for 6 months. This is Cederberg's most measurable initiative to reduce its carbon footprint. It has also reduced the electricity used in the cellar and farm practices by 75%. The solar system is grid-tied, which means it is connected to the national electricity grid. And on that good news, with the good news, I say goodbye, but I'll be back shortly.
Netafim. Grow more with less.
During a recent discussion with role players in the produce industry, Donkin from Subtrop stated that South Africa expects an uptick in avocado exports, and that is what we are chatting to him about this today. Derek, thank you for joining us. How does the growth in avocado production compare to the uptick in exports?
Well, avocado production in South Africa is directly linked to exports, because our production is aimed at exports. So we have an uptick in exports with an uptick in production, but also our local market gets more because about 35 to 40% of the production goes into the local market as well.
What is the reason for the growth in production and exports?
There's a growing global demand for avocados. So both locally and in the export markets, we see people wanting more and more avocados. And the reason for this, I think, is because it's a healthy fruit, it's a trendy fruit, and one can use it in so many ways. And there's also no substitute for avocados. And then over the years, many of the origins, the country of origins, have been promoting avocados to consumers. And I think now with this strong growth, we're seeing the result of years of work of promotion of avocados and telling people why they should be eating them.
How does the avocado sector contribute to agriculture as a whole?
It's a very important part of agriculture as a whole, especially in the production regions, which are mainly in Limpopo province, in Mpumalanga, also in KwaZulu-Natal. If we take the fruit industry as a whole, it's a very, very important part of the economy. The fruit industry as a whole contributes about 45 billion Rand a year to the economy, employs 295,000 people, When you look at the avocado industry, of that 45 billion, we're contributing 2.1 billion a year to the economy and employing 11,500 people in the industry. So a very, very important part of South Africa and our economy.
You've mentioned in the past that we need to develop alternative markets. Would you elaborate on that?
So yeah, to keep growing at the rate we are, and we need to find new markets. Our biggest market at the moment is Europe, where about 95% of the fruit goes. But we're looking at markets such as Japan, China, the USA, and India, and that will allow us to spread the risks. You don't want all of your avocados in one basket, if I can put it that way. And it also will allow us to continue growing. If we don't get new markets, we won't be able to continue growing at the rate that we currently are.
And when will you know if we do have access to these new markets?
Well, that's a very difficult one. I think we're very close to getting access to, for example, Japan and to India, but the COVID situation has really stalled things. For some of these markets, it's required that government officials from that country come out to our country to do an inspection. And for example, with Japan, that stopped it. They aren't able to travel at the moment. And then also with India, we know what the situation there is at the moment. They're having a huge spike in COVID infections, and that's affecting people going to work in the government, and it's slowed down the whole process. So it has been a bit frustrating over the last year, but hopefully when things are a bit normalized again, we'll have some access to some of these new markets, hopefully in the not too distant future.
Well, that's good news, and on that high note, we thank Derek Donkin from Subtrop.
Goeiemôre kykers, in vandag se kommoditeitsmarkverslag kan daar gesien word dat die pryse van rooi vleis steeds goed doen. Beide bees en lam A2 karkasse se pryse het verlede week met 1.7% week op week gestyg, maar in die geval van C2 beeskarkasse het die prys met 0.3% gedaal, terwyl speenkalvers ook bietjie goedkoper is. Wat skaapvleis aanbetref, het die C2 prys skerp gestyg met 7.6%, terwyl die speen-lamprys verder gestyg het met 2% week op week. Varkvleispryse het die wind bietjie van voor gekry en het met 1.2% gedaal. Daar was die afgelope week geen wolveiling nie, terwyl die bulkaarveiling se prys met 4.4% gedaal het vanaf die vorige veiling. In dollarterme het hierdie prys egter onveranderd gebly, so die verswakking in die prys was as gevolg van 'n versterking in die rand. Wat grane aanbetref het die mielieprys met 2.7% gedaal vir naaste maand lewering, terwyl die koringprys onveranderd gebly het. Oliesaadpryse het sojabone met 1.2% gestyg en sonneblom met 0.6%. Die rand het die afgelope week met 0.7% versterk teenoor die dollar en met 0.5% versterk teenoor die euro.
NutriFeeds, die formule vir sukses.
Een van die bedrywe in Suid-Afrika waarop ons baie trots kan wees, is ons plaaslike avokado bedryf. Nou, die mark groei ook wêreldwyd en dit bied groot geleenthede, veral vir groei ook in Suid-Afrika. Dis avokado is nie net goed vir ons gesondheid nie, maar dit is ook iets wat groei onder ons jonger geslag as 'n baie populêre vrug of groentesoort. Ek sal by Lindie hoor presies waaronder dit geklassifiseer word. Suid-Afrika maak tans optimaal gebruik van die groei in vraag in Europa, maar sien ook geleenthede in Ooste en in Amerika. Lindie Stroebel van Mission, ons sal nou ook bietjie meer uitvind van hulle, maar jy daarom al met ons gesels oor hulle. Lindie, welkom weer eens.
Baie dankie.
Ja. Wie is die grootste verbruikers van avokados wat hierdie vreeslike groei aanhits?
Ja, kyk die groei, kom ons kyk eers daarna, wat hits dit aan? Die groot beheptheid en tendens om gesond te leef, veral nou na die pandemie, is daar groot fokus daarop en avokados tik al die bokse daarvoor. So daar's 'n groot vraag vir die gesonde, want dit is baie hoë goeie nutriënte en voedingswaarde. So daai is een van die groot dryfveers, maar avokados word ook gesien as vir die, kom ons noem dit die Instagram generasie, is ook fotogenies. So dit word baie deur chefs en deur die verbruikersmark gebruik, het sy dit sushi of op 'n pizza of 'n baie nice avocado op toast regdeur tot 'n avocado smoothie. So daai tendens saam met die gesondheidsbewustheid is wat hierdie wêreldwye groei aangehits het. En dan na die aard van die saak wat jy gevra het van wie eet die meeste en waar is die groei? Die grootste verbruikers, interessant genoeg, is die Meksikane. Hulle eet so 6 na 7 kg per capita per jaar.
Seker die guacamole wat hulle maak.
Dis presies dit. En dan die Amerikaners wat ek dink op die guacamole tendens gevolg het, hulle eet so 4 kg per capita per jaar. Nou, om dit meer in ons konteks te sit, die Europeërs wat ons baie aan voorsien, sowel as die Engelse, eet so hier 1,1 kg. Suid-Afrika byvoorbeeld is so tussen 800 gram en 1 kilogram per capita per kop. Nou, interessant, terug na die groeipotensiaal. Kyk byvoorbeeld China. China eet hulle maar 400 gram. Nou sal jy dink dis min, maar relatief tot die ander. Maar soveel as 10 jaar terug was China vir die eerste keer avocados vir die eerste keer bekendgestel in China. En deur Mission eintlik met sy vennote daar. En daai groei het van 2014 tot huidiglik met 1000% gegroei. En tans is dit slegs by hulle noem dit die first tier cities. So dis die groter stede waar die second en die third tier is baie groot relatief tot ons verwysing, maar die first tier cities is waar avocados beskikbaar is. So as jy dit in konteks sit en jy dink daai 400 gram kan moontlik groei na sê net maar die 4 kg wat die Amerikaners per capita per jaar eet. Kan mens net dink wat daai ongelooflike groei is, want dan produseer ons nog nie naaste by genoeg vir wat daai vraag gaan behels nie.
So is dit 'n vrug of 'n groente?
Dit is 'n vrug. Jy gaan hom nie in 'n vrugteslaai sit nie.
Voer Suid-Afrika ook na hierdie lande toe uit wat jy nou van gepraat het, Lindie?
Ons is tans nog beperk met ons marktoegang. So 95% van ons uitvoer gaan na Europa en die VK en dan 'n bietjie daarvan gaan Rusland toe. Tans word daar baie inisiatiewe en fokus geplaas op marktoegang. So ons plaaslike industrie saam met die regering werk baie nou daarin om dit te kan te bewerkstellig. Ek dink die groot potensiaal waaraan hulle ook werk is Amerika, China, Japan en Indië. En dit is waar die volgende potensiaal vir ons lê as Suid-Afrika.
Maar is ons gerad hiervoor?
Ons is. Ja, as jy kyk na ons produksie, ons het tans omtrent so oor die laaste 5 jaar, so 125,000 ton wat ons oes, en dit is op so hierso by die 14,000 na 15,000 hektar kommersiële boorde. En ons groei op hierdie stadium so om en by hulle beraam met so 900 hektar per jaar wat nog bygevoeg word. So definitief is ons gerad daarvoor. Ons voer omtrent so net so die helfte daarvan uit, so 60,000 ton voer ons uit. So dis 'n baie belangrike industrie vir ons land. Ons het hier by die, ek dink is 12,000 werknemers wat net op plase en pakhuise werk. So ons praat nie eers van die res van die waardeketting nie. En daai net so oor die 60,000 ton wat uitgevoer is, bring baie belangrike buitelandse valuta ook in vir ons land. So ja, ons is gerad, maar dit is ook belangrik dat ons onsself voorberei en regte cultivars, regte tyd van die jaar, al daai aspekte reg posisioneer om daai potensiële marktoegang optimaal te kan benut.
Jy praat nou van die tyd van die jaar, so wanneer is die avokado seisoen? Ek weet ons het 'n boom en hy dra nou, so dit moet nou hier rond wees.
Jy is 100% reg. Ja, nou die Mei, Junie, Julie is ons piek tyd, maar eintlik strek ons seisoen van Maart tot September. So daar is verskillende variëteite wat op mekaar volg, sowel as verskillende produksieareas. So ons kan nou dalk dink dit is nou die piektyd, ons meeste volume kom nou in Mei, Junie, Julie, maar daar is beduidend baie volume alreeds hierso van laat Februarie, Maart wat in die mark inkom. En ons ek wil amper sê probeer nie net ons seisoen uitrek nie met produksie en ander variëteite nie, maar ook om die leefvensters in die wêreldmark reg te benut. Nou in hierdie tyd wat jou avokado ook in die mark is, kompeteer ons direk met Peru op die Europese mark. So daar's baie prysdruk en daar's groot volumes beskikbaar. So dit maak dit vir ons moeilik. Die ideaal is om vroeër in te kom en dan later in te kom as wat ons tradisionele piektyd is.
So wat moet ons plaaslike bedryf doen om hierdie geleenthede die beste te benut?
Kyk, daai prysdruk wat ek byvoorbeeld genoem het in Europa, kyk, die Europese mark groei baie. So ons skyn nie weg van daai mark nie. En daar is opinies dat ons produksie en ons opbrengs moet hoër bring. So tipies 10 tonne hektaar moet jy vat na 15 na 20 tonne hektaar om in daai tyd nog steeds kompeterend te wees. Maar daar's ander opinies wat sê ons moet eerder ons mark diversifiseer. Dit kom terug na die vorige punt wat ek genoem het, na die potensiaal van die Asiese of die Amerikaanse mark wat ons kan ontgin. So as ons daai optimaal kan oopmaak, daar is beter geleenthede in my opinie. Maar ja, daar's baie wat kan gedoen word om ons produksie en so beter te maak.
Lindie, ons moet daar afsluit, maar ek het gesê ons sal so vinnig ietsie sê oor Mission. Is Mission in Suid-Afrika geposisioneer?
Ja, Mission is nou redelik 'n nuwe speler in Suid-Afrika, waar ons vennote het met ZZ2, wat een van ons grootste en progressiewe avocado groeiers in die land is. En die ander vennoot is Core Fruit, wat ons grootste vrugte uitvoerder uit Suid-Afrika uit is. En Mission het 'n baie sterk markandeel veral in Amerika en in China. Want hulle is bekend as die wêreld se leier op verspreiding en dat ons 12 maande van die jaar aan die kliënte reg oor die wêreld bied. So hierdie potensiaal in Suid-Afrika is dat ons daai geleentheid, ek noem dit altyd die plug and play. As ons in China of so mark toegang kan kry, is die netwerke daar, ons kliënte is daar, ons verrypingsfasiliteite is daar. En so daai tipe geleentheid bied ons dan vir die Suid-Afrikaanse mark soos wat dit groei. En ons groot planne en die potensiaal is groot.
Dis wonderlik om te hoor, Lindie, baie dankie. En dankie dat jy ons ook bekend gestel het aan internasionale rolspelers en die wonderlike geleenthede wat daar is vir die plaaslike avokado bedryf.
Groot plesier.
En dit is dan Lindie Stroebel van Mission.
The 52nd SASAS Congress is fast approaching, and the SASAS Northern Branch is very excited for what they have to offer this year. A part of this Congress includes a very exciting student quiz where teams from various universities compete to see who knows the what's what of animal science. Today we talk to Jason Redding, a geneticist from SA Studbook and a committee member of the SASAS Northern Branch, about the annual student quiz. Jason, welcome.
Hi there, Deirdre. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. So first off, what is the purpose of the quiz?
Well, the quiz was originally started to test the knowledge of all the animal science students that are currently in the tertiary institutions, especially with regards to genetics, breeding, physiology, nutrition, and so on. And the quiz final is hosted on the first day of the Congress. And because it's on the first day, it's more of like an icebreaker for all the students from various institutions who may not know each other. And thus now when they know each other after the quiz, they can all assimilate together on the remaining days of the Congress.
So the student quiz has been running for a couple of years now. Explain to us what this year's quiz has in store for the students.
Well, the quiz, each team takes up 3 students, and each student must at least be an final year undergrad or a postgrad MSc student who's under the age of 25 years old. This year's quiz will be slightly different due to obvious reasons. So the preliminary rounds will occur online, where through the course of June and July, and this will be to assess the students and discover what the top 3 teams in the country will be. The top 3 teams will be announced at the end of July, and they will attend the conference live at Future Africa on the 10th of August, where they will participate in the final round. And the themes that will be covered in the quiz compose of aquaculture, climate change, meat, dairy, wool, science, as well as nutrition, reproduction, physiology, and so forth.
So what prizes can the students and the universities look forward to?
Well, the winning team will receive a cash prize of about 2,000 Rand. Each member will receive a cash prize, as well as a Plaas Media hamper. So we don't want to spoil the hamper, but one of the prizes in the hamper will be a guide to profitable sheep farming by Jasper Kutsia, as well as the university of the winning team will receive Via Plaas recognition as well.
So seeing as you were part of the winning team in 2019, do you have any tips for the students that are competing this year?
Well, each university is allowed to enter 2 teams. So in of itself, if there are more than 6 members of the degree that would like to participate, I think the university themselves should have a look at who the best students are, as well as don't have students on the team who are interested in the same things. Have someone who's interested in nutrition, someone who's interested in breeding, as well as maybe someone who's quite a general knowledge type of person. As well as the previous quizzes are currently online on the SASAS website. You're more than welcome to go and visit them and practice those questions, because practicing questions, there may be questions that come up in the test. There were in my quiz that were similar to the previous years, so practice makes perfect.
Well, there you have it. Watch the Plaas TV space for feedback on the preliminary rounds as well as the announcements of the finalists.